Shubhangi Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control. Today's our topic is PLC maintenance, PLC troubleshooting and the grounding system that will be arise whenever we connect the PLC hardware with the PLC software in the unit number 18, Basics of SCADA. So we will study one by one how the problem is arise during the hardware connection of this PLC system and what is the maintenance required for this particular system, which type of troubleshooting is there for this PLC hardware, and then what is the best grounding system for the PLC system. So first of all, PLC maintenance. Okay, so in the PLC maintenance, first of all we have to check the tightness of the IO module terminal screw. As you know, whenever the programming is done, we can connect different analog input and the output for this particular PLC hardware. Okay, now you know that suppose we can simply connect a push button switch as my input on off switch. Okay, so we can connect the plus or the positive and the negative terminal with this PLC hardware. Okay, so first of all we can check the tightness of the input as well as the output module that is connected with the PLC hardware. If there is a problem, we cannot get the proper output. The next is we can check for the corrosion of the connecting terminals. Okay, now as we discussed earlier in the first point that we can connect the different input and the output analog module with the PLC hardware. Now the example is like that. If we can do the programming for the traffic light signal. Okay, whenever the programming is done, we can check the programming and we can check the output. Now the output is perfect. Now the next is we can connect the software or the software programming with the hardware. We can load this programming with the PLC hardware. Okay, now whenever the first time the hardware connection is finished, we can put into the particular plant or the system. Now as you know, the traffic light signal, whenever the signal is running, we can deal this signal with the continuous process. So meanwhile, we can check that the whatever terminal is connected with this PLC hardware, it is affected with the corrosion or the not. The third one is make sure that components are free of dust, because we can connect this project or this hardware with this particular system. So we have to make sure that the components that are used for this particular plant or this system, they are free of dust. Now we can stock commonly needed spare parts. As you know, whenever we deal with the PLC hardware, the common thing is we can compulsory connect the analog input and the analog on off switch, as well as we can connect the analog on off output and the analog output terminal. So we have to stock commonly needed the spare parts. So in the future, if required or any parts is damaged during this performance, that time we can easily connect this part. Now the next one is the keep a duplicate record of the operating program being used. As you know, we can connect the PLC hardware with this particular system. Now the system will be running with the 24 hours 7 days. So we have to keep a duplicate record whatever we have done the programming for this particular system. So meanwhile in future, if any error is generated, any difficulty is there, we can easily copy and paste this duplicate program to this PLC software, and then we can load this program with the hardware and we can easily set our system. So we have to keep a duplicate record of the operating program. Now have a written checklist control sheet for each PLC. Okay, now in the same system only one PLC is used is not compulsory. Depending upon the application or depending upon the output pins required for this particular system, we can connect a more than one PLC for this particular one system. So we have to write down the checklist of the control sheet of the each type of PLC. It is not necessary that we have to use the same company PLC for this particular system. Whenever the system is introduced, if we can connect the data PLC, now day by day the new hardware is introduced, new feature is introduced for this particular PLC. So in the future, if we can connect some other company PLC for the particular same system, so we have to know about that what type of PLC is connected for this particular system and how many PLC hardware is connected for this particular system. Again, using the control sheet, we have easily know how many input terminals is connected and how many output is there for this particular plant. Now the next one is keep a log sheet on the maintenance for each PLC in addition to the checklist. We can also make a log sheet for the maintenance purpose. Now all field IO device should be inspected to ensure that they are adjusted properly. As you know, we will discuss earlier that we can connect number of inputs and output device for this particular system. So we have to check that whatever the input output is connected, that will be adjusted properly or not. Now the care should be taken to ensure that heavy noise and heat, because if heavy noise or heat will be generated for this particular system, it is a one type of input entered for this particular closed loop system, and that will be effect on the output. So we can take care of the heavy noise and the heat and keep a master copy of operating program used. Whenever the programming is done and we can get the proper and the perfect output, we have to keep a master copy for that operating program. In future, if there is a problem during the software or the hardware connection, that time we can easily use this master copy. Okay, so there are some different types of topic that is in the PLC maintenance required for this particular system. Now next one is PLC troubleshooting. Okay, if problem is arise, then what we can do? So first of all, the PLC are relatively easy to troubleshoot because the control program can be displayed on the monitor and watch in the real time as is executed. So the troubleshooting of the PLC software is very easy because whatever the programming is done is displayed on the monitor, and we can continuous check this program to respect to this output. So we can continuous change the data for its execution time. Okay, so which type of factor that is included in the PLC troubleshooting? So the problem can generally arise in the PLC troubleshooting is, first one is the processor module, then the input output hardware that is connected with this PLC hardware, then the wiring, then the fourth one is the different types of input and output, and the fifth one is the ladder logic diagram. So first of all, what is the troubleshooting in the processor module? So in the processor module, if the module is on the run mode, that time in the PLC hardware the green light is blinking. So in the steady indicate that the processor is in the run mode. Now what is the problem when the processor not in the running mode? So if it is off, then other than run mode. So using this processor module, we can easily identify if the green light is blinking, that means my processor is in the run mode, and if it is not in the green mode, that means it is other than the run mode. Same thing if any fault is there. Okay, flashing red light, that means flashing at the power of indicate that the has not been configured. As you know, whenever we load the program from the software to the hardware, we can load this program, we can configure this program. So for that, flashing during the operation indicate the major error either in the processor or the memory. So if in the processor module red light indicate that there is a error in the memory unit or the processor module. So using the processor module, we can easily identify if green light is there, no error is there. If off is there, that means up to now or this time the processor is not a run mode, it is in other mode. And if a red light is there, there is a error is generated in the module or the memory. Okay, so it is on, that means error. That means red light is blinking, error is generated. If red light is off position, that means there is a no error in the programming. The next one is the battery. If battery is red, that means on, that is battery is missing and or not connected. And if it is off, if red light is not there, that means battery is functional. Okay, so we can also run the PLC hardware using the battery connection. Now, the next one is the input malfunction. In the input malfunction, first of all, we can check or troubleshoot the input and output wiring between the field device and the module. Because as you know, we can connect the wiring between the analog input that is connected and then with the PLC hardware, so we can continuously check the input output wiring. The next one is the field device or the module power supply that is connected with the PLC hardware, because as you know, we can connect a DC supply with the PLC hardware because PLC will be run a DC supply. So we can check the field device and the module power supply. Then the input sensing device, if we can connect any type of sensor to the input terminal, so we can troubleshoot the input sensing devices, then the output actuator and the PLC input output module. So that is all the input malfunction, and the last one is the PLC process. So in the input malfunction, we can check the input output wiring terminals, input sensor if we have to connect it, output actuator and the PLC processor. The next one is the output malfunctions. In the output malfunctions, we can check the fuse indicator if we can connect the alarm, fuse or indicator or the recorder as the output device, so we can check the fuse indicator. Then we check the output rung is energized, because if we can load the program to the hardware but in the software output rung is not on or the energized, that time we cannot check the output properly. So first of all, we can check the output rung is properly energized or the not. Then the output module or the processor may be at the fault condition or not. We have to check the voltage at the output side as well as the input side. So this is the all output malfunction. And the last one is the ladder logic program. Programming an examiner if close instruction instead of examining if open, and using an incorrect address in the program. So whenever we did the ladder logic program, first of all we can check that whatever input is connected, suppose we have to draw the programming like this manner. Suppose we have to take one input as a open contact and one input as a closed contact. Okay, and that is my output Y. So we can check that whatever the instruction is there for this programming is properly executed, because this is all about the software, but we can connect this program to the hardware connection. So for that, here we can connect one push button or the float switch. Here also we can connect a push button or the float switch. Okay, one switch is normally open contact and one switch we can connect the normally closed contact. Both the function are inverse, so we have to continuous examine that then what is the open and close instruction will be executed in the ladder logic diagram, that is all perfectly perform in the hardware or not. And also we have to check that we have to apply a address for this particular system. Suppose we can connect the timer, so we can save the timing program for this particular memory location. So if we have to use the incorrect address, so that time in the software they will not get the data at the input side, and that time the output is not properly energized, and for that we cannot get the proper output. So these are the some troubleshooting arise in the software as well as hardware. So first thing is that we can check the software programming. If it is properly worked, then and then we can connect the hardware with this software. We have to load this program to the PLC hardware and then check the output is properly energized or not, and after that we can connect a different types of analog input and the output for this particular power plant requirement. So this is the processor how we can troubleshoot the PLC. Okay. Now the last thing is grounding system. It is also important whenever we connect the PLC hardware to this particular system. So the proper electrical grounding of the wiring of the equipment and the cabinet is essential for the personal safety as well as to ensure that proper equipment operation. As you know, in the PLC, if we have to only connect the PLC hardware, so PLC is working on the DC supply. Depending upon the manufacturer or depending upon the different types of company, PLC will be work plus 5 volt DC supply, plus 12 volt DC supply, plus 10 volt DC supply. So this is the power for only PLC hardware. Now as you know that we can connect the different types of analog input and output for this PLC system. So the power requirement is different. So first of all we have to check that whatever equipment is connected to this particular plant is properly grounded or not. For our personal safety as well as whatever equipment is connected for this particular system, the safety is also important. So the grounding system is most important in the PLC system. So which type of grounding is required for this particular PLC system? Okay, so if we can connect the different types of PLC hardware, and this is my suppose other devices that is connected with this plant. So this is my other devices, this is my PLC. So we can connect the PLC with the proper grounding, and also we can connect the other devices with the another proper grounding. So we can apply individual grounding system for the PLC as well as other system. So this is the best method to apply a grounding system with the PLC hardware as well as other device. Okay, now if they will connect the PLC and the other device like this manner. Suppose this is my PLC and this is my other devices, and they will connect the grounding system like this manner. So this is my alternative grounding system. We can also connect the PLC and other device grounding system like this manner. So this is my second option for the grounding system. Now in the third option, if we have to use a PLC and some other devices, okay, and if we can connect the grounding system like this manner. Suppose this is my plus minus terminal and this is my grounding system. So this is my incorrect method for the grounding system. This is my correct method, and the alternative method for the grounding system. Okay, so you can connect the grounding system individual, whatever device is connected, and the PLC. We can combine the grounding system with PLC and other device. So this is my correct method. We cannot connect this type of grounding system for the PLC and the other system. So this is the all about the hardware connection. Now what about in the programming or in the ladder logic diagram? So in the ladder logic diagram, if we have to use one input and one output, okay, so for that A my input and Y my output. Okay, so this ladder is connected with the hardware. So we have to connect here a emergency shutdown system. Okay, also we can connect here parallel with the input. We have to connect the MCR. If the power fluctuation is there, if error is generated during the input application, that time we can shut down this process. Again we have to connect the MCR like this manner. Okay, now also as you remember, we have to use a master stop button and the master start button for this particular program. So here we can use a master stop button whenever the error is generated or any problem during this system. So we have to stop all the process. Same thing, we have to use a master start. Okay, so depending upon the application, we can connect the MCR, master control relay, or the emergency shutdown system, or the master stop and start button for this grounding system. So this is for the ladder logic diagram. Okay, so if grounding system is provided for the hardware, we can connect the hardware like this manner. And if we have to provide the grounding system for the software, it is not compulsory, because as you know, whenever we deal with the programming in the software, we have to only provide the master start or stop button for this output system. Okay, so this is all about the grounding system that is used in this PLC software as well as hardware. Okay, so in this lecture we will study about the different types of maintenance is required for the PLC hardware as well as software, then the troubleshooting, and the last is how grounding system is connected with this PLC system. Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt regarding this topic, you have to contact me in my email ID.